Sun Tzu wrote that the greatest battles are won before the fighting starts. Balthazar Gracian, 3 centuries later, wrote that survival often comes down to which half of yourself you choose to show. Here's the thing modern psychology confirms. The questions that extract the most leverage over you almost never sound dangerous. They sound like Tuesday. 7 of them show up constantly, and the goal here isn't to distrust everyone who asks them. It's to notice the one signal that actually separates a manipulator from someone who's earned your honesty. Does the information you give ever get used against you, or does it stay safe?
Be honest with me. Psychologist Bella DePaulo's research on everyday lying found most daily lies aren't deception at all. She called them social lubrication, saying you're fine, softening a reaction, holding something back. That's not dishonesty. It's basic social competence. The red flag isn't someone wanting honesty. It's someone who, after you give it, uses that honesty as ammunition in the next disagreement. Genuine trust doesn't need to disable your filter to function. If it keeps getting weaponized later, that's the actual data point, not the original question.
What do you really think of so-and-so? In 1956, Mao Zedong's 100 Flowers campaign invited public criticism, then used it to identify and punish the critics. Extreme example, same low-grade mechanism as office gossip. What you say about someone rarely stays contained. The signal to watch isn't the question. It's whether your answer travels, whether it comes back to you, reshaped through a third party. If it does once, that's information about how that person operates. Give something true and low stakes, and watch what happens to it.
What's wrong? Are you okay?
Psychologist Sidney Jourard's research on self-disclosure found something genuinely reassuring. Mutual, reciprocal vulnerability is what builds real closeness. That's not the danger here. The danger is one-directional extraction, someone who wants your struggles laid out but never offers their own, and later turns today's confession into tomorrow's pressure point. Reciprocity is the tell. If they open up too, and what you share stays safe, that's real care. If neither of the
things is true, answer honestly but lightly, and save the full picture for people who've shown they can hold it. How much do you make? What's your rent? Robert Cialdini's research on negotiation found that whoever holds more financial information can structure any deal to their advantage, while the other side still feels fine about it. That's exactly why salespeople ask your budget before showing you anything. This one's less about people you love, and more about anyone with something to gain from your number. A landlord, a salesperson, a relative who circles back a month after learning you got a raise. A simple, "I do okay," is a complete, normal answer. Only people calibrating something push past it. 5. Why did you do that? Psychologist Saul Kassin's research on interrogation found that repeated pressure to justify a decision can make people manufacture explanations under pressure, and then start believing them. The mechanism isn't limited to police rooms. It shows up in relationships too. One honest why from someone hurt and confused is normal. Explain it on your terms. The pattern worth noticing is repeated, courtroom-style why that treats you as a defendant every time, where any answer becomes evidence used against you later. That repetition is the signal, not the question itself. Are you free this weekend? In 1966, Stanford researchers Jonathan Freedman and Scott Fraser found that getting people to agree to something small first made them dramatically more likely to agree to something much bigger later. The foot in the door effect, still the backbone of modern sales and social engineering. Most people who ask this just want to make plans. The signal worth clocking is someone who consistently needs your yes locked in before they'll say what the actual ask is. Depends what you have in mind is a completely reasonable answer, and how someone reacts to it tells you plenty.
7. What do you really want? Researcher Margaret Singer's work on cult recruitment found recruiters would ask what was missing in someone's life, then later offer exactly that. The mechanism isn't unique to cults. It shows up in any relationship where someone learns your deepest want and dangles it instead of helping you reach it. Here's the real distinction. A partner, mentor, or close friend who learns what you want and spends real effort helping you get there is doing the opposite of manipulation. Someone who learns it and uses it as a leash, recognition without the raise, closeness used as a discipline tool, is doing the thing this question warns about. Same question, completely different follow-through.
Final thoughts. None of these 7 questions are dangerous on their own. Every one of them is something a caring, ordinary person might ask you this week. The actual signal was never the question. It's what happens after you answer, whether it's reciprocated, whether it's protected, whether it quietly turns into leverage the next time you disagree. Watch the follow-through, not the phrasing. Guardedness with everyone isn't wisdom. It's just isolation with better branding. The people worth real honesty are the ones who've already shown you what they do with it. Subscribe for more real psychology behind how people actually operate.